A very big hello to my wonderful PU2 champions. I hope all my dear children are doing absolutely great. So yes, finally we just have one more spotting experiment left, and that is identification of E, that is disease causing organism. And children were asking me, ma'am, there are 2 experiments that are left and you didn't do it. So I did it, and the other one has also already been published. I hope you go and watch it, okay? So why do fear when Jasmine ma'am is here? Because my dear children, I'll make things super easy for you, but the only thing that you have to do from your end is study. Okay, so yes, so 1 marks you will get for identifying, and I'll help you with that. Okay, what do you have to identify? Disease causing organisms, and all of them are simple. Okay, so first of all, when you feel it's difficult, just understand it's simple and believe that. First one is Ascaris lumbricoides. You might have heard about it. It causes ascariasis. Okay. Entamoeba histolytica, it causes amoebic dysentery. Plasmodium vivax, this guy is super famous, it causes malaria. And ringworm fungus. So what is this? So ringworm is a disease, and it's not caused by any worm, rather it's caused by a fungus, but it gives a structure of a ring on our body, which is why you call it, looks like a worm has made a ring. So it's not like that, it's actually a fungus, and there are multiple fungus involved in that, but one guy we have to study about them, and that is Trichophytum rubrum. Okay, Trichophytum rubrum. Fine. Now over here, after identification of this, you also have to write 2 points. Now there is one thing that I got to understand is that you have to mention the disease that it causes and also the symptoms of the disease. This is super important. You will get half marks each for this. Okay, so please make sure you're not doing any mistake. Disease and symptoms should not be missed. You can write some extra points, but these 2 things ultimately very, very important. Okay, now talking about what we have already covered. So we have already covered the pollen germination experiment, pollen tube growth, and what did we cover? We studied the number of locules in the ovary. We studied about the nucleic acid staining experiment. I gave you all the 5 marks out there, right? And we also studied about the mitosis experiment. We also saw the pedigree chart thing. And if at all you're scared about the pedigree chart, please watch that video. I'm telling you, there are tricks with which you can solve everything very easily. Yeah, and identify D was nothing but the TS of ovary and all those things. I already covered it, and now we are over here. What was F? I already covered it before, thinking that it might be difficult for you, and that is homologous and analogous organs. So basically we are here, we need to grab those 2 marks. Okay, for identification 1 mark, and for writing the comments including your disease and the symptoms, you get what? You get 2 marks total. Let's say 1 plus 1, 2 marks in total. Fine. Now, if at all you're someone who is totally new to the channel and you do not know, oh my god, when did ma'am do the experiment? So if at all you go to Deeksha Karnataka and roll down a bit, you will be able to see this. So over here, it's me who is doing the experiment, and yes, you can watch it. Fine. Now, yes. Let's get into the real thing. Okay, so the first one that we have is Ascaris lumbricoides, and in real it looks like this. In real it looks like this. So if at all you're wondering, ma'am, why are there 2 worms over here? So one is female and one is male. Guess what is what? Well, I'll tell you. So the smaller one is actually the male, and male would be having a very coiled end also. So in real you look like this, it looked like this, right? Now you see in real. Now tell me which one is male and which one is female. Obviously this one is male because it is small and it has a curved end, and this one would be a female. So either a picture of this can be given to you, or basically a specimen like this will be given to you. Please understand, out of the 4 spots that you have, okay, in our option for this identification of E, nothing looks like a worm. Nothing looks like a worm. So if at all you see a worm, just understand it is going to be what? Ascaris lumbricoides. It is not annelids. Annelids are usually worms which we call as earthworm. Earthworm and everything comes under annelids, but they are not coming under annelida. They are coming under Aschelminthes. Okay, they come under Aschelminthes, and we also call them as nematode. What do you call them? Nematode. So basically they are nematodes. Ascaris lumbricoid is a nematode. Now what does it do? So over here you are being given phylum Aschelminthes, class Nematoda, and type is Ascaris lumbricoides. Make sure whenever you write the species name, you have it in small letters, and the genus name first letter should be capital. Okay. Now Disease is Ascaris, I told you. What are the symptoms? So basically it affects your intestine. Okay, in intestine, these worms are like just spread out there. Okay, just imagine so much noodles inside the intestine. I know it seems gross, it is exactly gross. And my dear children, you know what? Because of these guys, there can be internal bleeding. Yes. And since there is internal bleeding, obviously there will be loss of blood and things like that, which is why people would be having anemia also. And when something infects us, obviously we have fever, so fever is also a symptom. Okay, so there will be irregular bowel movement also. Why? Because it is there inside our bowel. That's why there will be irregular bowel movement, and occasional vomiting will be there. By something like this is happening in the intestine. Do you think our body will be staying all right? No. So that is why we have all the symptoms. So do not remember these symptoms as in, do not mug up these symptoms, but try to understand it. Picturize it. Even though it looks gross, you have to picturize it, and that's how you will be able to learn it even better. Okay, so if at all you write the disease as well as the symptoms, you will be getting those 1 marks, but make sure you have one more point in your head. So the body is long, it is unsegmented. So usually worms, earthworm, if at all you have seen, they have small segments, right? I told you they come under annelids. That's the feature of annelids. Over here they are nematodes, and nematodes, they have unsegmented, very smooth, buttery, and you can take them for the advertisement of Vaseline. Okay, so it's like that. And they are cylindrical, and they have tapering end as an end like this. Done? That's all. So if at all you remember Ascaris, the symptoms, internal bleeding, anemia, fever, irregular bowel, occasional vomiting, it's all cool. And then just remember their body is long, unsegmented, and cylindrical with tapering end. That's all. Done. Ascaris, lumbricoides is done. Fine. The second one is Entamoeba histolytica. Entamoeba histolytica causes what? It causes amoebic dysentery. So it's an amoeba. Okay, amoeba, my dear children, they come under protozoans. They come under protozoans. And my dear children, for this you will not get a real-time thing in front of you. No, it's microscopic. So either you will get a slide or basically you will get a picture. Either a slide or get a picture. That's all. So over here, in real, it looks like this. In real, it looks like this. Now, something is very common over here. That is this particular structure. It's prominently been seen. What is this structure? This is their nucleus. You know, their nucleus is a bit different from the normal regular nucleus out there. So basically, in the central portion of their nucleus, the chromatin material which is there, the DNA which is there, is condensed too much. Okay, it is condensed too much, which is why you find something like this. And you have nucleoprotein as in the proteins which are found in the nucleus. They are known as nucleoprotein. They are also found in the formation of ring. It looks like something like this, like a tire wheel or something like this. Yeah, and this is also seen over here and also here. If not this, then look for these things. These are basically the vacuoles which have blood, because they are feeding on the blood out there. Okay, they feed on the blood. They again are going to affect your intestines, your large intestine specifically, and basically they are going to rupture your intestinal tissue. So yes, they feed on the intestinal cells and also some amount of your blood also, right? So it looks like this. The identification factor that you can easily get to see is this. And also remember one very important thing, they have a very irregular shape. So it's not like they will have a proper shape out there. They might have an irregular shape because, my dear children, they're amoeba. They have pseudopodia. They can change up their shapes out there. Okay, so this is something that can be easily identified. Look out for this. So Entamoeba histolytica, as I told you, they come under protozoans, and yes. So basically we have 5 kingdoms. Okay, one is what do you call this thing? Monera, where you have the bacteria, protozoa, then you have fungi, then you have plantae, and then you have animalia. Under animalia comes annelids, nematodes, mammals, and everything out there. This is a whole different kingdom out there. This is protozoa. They are microscopic in nature, and yeah, that's the only thing that you need to remember it. Okay, remember over here. So remember Entamoeba histolytica, which causes amoebic dysentery or amoebiasis, is a protozoan, and also Plasmodium, which is causing malaria, that is also coming under protozoa itself. Then, now what do they do? When I say dysentery is being caused, dysentery means what? Basically, in your stool, blood will also be there. If at all in your stool blood and mucus is being mixed, that is known as dysentery. And over here, since this amoeba is causing it, you will call this as amoebic dysentery or amoebiasis. So what will you usually find? You will find frequent loose mucus filled watery stool, yeah, and also blood will be there. Abdominal pain and cramps or spasm will be there. Baba, something is happening over here. So obviously you will have it. Blood in the motion and constipation. If at all not all this thing, then you will be having constipation. If not loose motion, then constipation. Okay. So frequent loose mucus filled watery stool, and you can put the next point as blood in the stool, and also abdominal pain will be there, and there will be constipation. So please write the symptom as well as the disease. You will get your marks and have some extra point. As I told you, a single nucleus is present eccentrically in the cell. Eccentrically as an in between in the cell in middle, and basically it's very much visible, very much prominent thing. Okay, so we can talk about it. Okay, so nucleus has a central dot-like karyosome. So as I told you, the chromatin material condenses, and that is what you call as karyosome, and that is the small structure that you see. Okay, so that is all, and they are irregular in shape. Fine. So remember this. If at all you want to take up any of these points, you can. As I told you, I always tell you, do not mug up, see the diagram and learn with the help of it. Otherwise you might forget it. Okay. Now, if at all you have watched until now, if at all you're thinking that this video is actually helpful for me, okay, I should be probably subscribing to the channel, then what are you thinking? Subscribe to it right away for getting all such videos. And now we have the third one, which is Plasmodium vivax. Plasmodium vivax, as I told you, it's a famous guy. It causes malaria. In real, it looks like this. In real also, it looks somewhat like this. Again, the distinguishing feature that you might have is this structure. Okay, this structure. And almost, if at all you look the shape of the cell, it's almost like this, or it can be like this. They do not have an irregular shape. Okay, and over here, what is this structure? If at all I zoom in and I show it to you, if I zoom in and show it to you, there is a ring-like thing out there, and then you see something like this, right? So basically, what exactly is it? That the Plasmodium's cytoplasm, it forms the ring. This is the cytoplasm of the Plasmodium. This is the nucleus of the Plasmodium. It is towards one side. Always remember, nucleus will be towards one side. And this space that you see over here is the vacuole. So they have a very big vacuole. Surrounding the vacuole, you have the cytoplasm, and towards one side of the cytoplasm, you have the nucleus. So ma'am, this whole thing, yes, that whole thing is there. That whole thing basically can be the cytoplasm of the RBC where they are infecting. Okay, they infect the RBC, that is red blood cells. So it can be the cytoplasm of the RBC, or in general also, if at all you see the structure, you just need to focus on this part. Okay, so remember, suppose just think in your head that this is the only portion that you have of Plasmodium. Rest everything you just forget. So over here you have the cytoplasm, and you have the nucleus towards one side, and this extra central portion that you have is known as what? The central vacuole. It's very prominent out there. Cool. So yes, fine. So Plasmodium vivax has different stages. This is one such stage where it looks like this. Again, you can get a slide on it and you have to identify. So disease that is being caused is malaria, and phylum, as I told you, not phylum actually. Okay, it is kingdom, it is protozoa, and class is porozoa. So I've entirely copied it from your lab manual, so do not kill me if at all something else is written over here. You do not, whatever you have to remember, I'm telling you that. Okay, so Plasmodium vivax, you have to remember malaria. Okay, and it causes what? Basically, it feeds on our hemoglobin, right? It feeds on our hemoglobin that is there in the RBC. So when it feeds on our hemoglobin, it breaks the hemoglobin into two things. One is heme and one is globin, because it actually wants to eat this part of it. What does this do then? Heme, which is there, it is toxic for them. So they convert it into something else which is known as hemozoin. They convert it into hemozoin. And this is all happening inside what? The RBC. Now once they are also here, once they divide rapidly, what happens is that the RBC is going to burst open. So they are going to be released, and apart from that, hemozoin also is being released. And this hemozoin is toxic for us, which is why we get fevers and chills. Okay, we get fevers and chills. Also, there will be profuse sweating, so much sweating at the interval of alternate days. This is a very important symptom that you need to remember. Okay, yes. So what is the other point that you can remember? It has a big central vacuole and peripheral cytoplasm. Peripheral, towards the outer surface, you have the cytoplasm with the nucleus towards one side. Okay, and this stage is known as signet ring. It is known as signet ring because it looks like a ring, right? It is known as signet ring stage. Done? Yes. Okay, fine. So similarly, if at all the phylum was written over here, please do not mind all this thing, okay? Okay, you just be focused on this, that will be even more better, I think. Yeah. Now, yeah. The last one that we have is Trichophyton rubrum. So I told you Trichophyton, which is there, it is basically fighting on our skin surface, hair and things like that. Why? Because it's a fungus. It's fighting with what? It's fighting with our protein, that is keratin, and trying to eat it up. Okay, so it feeds on the keratin protein which is there, which is a part of your hair, your skin and everything. In real, it looks like this. There are some branches out there that you can clearly see. In real, it almost looks like this. So either you can get a slide like this or you can get a focus light like this also. So not worry about it. So until now, with 4 of them that you studied, okay, Ascaris lumbricoides just looks like a worm. The only confusion that you might have is between 2 things, Entamoeba histolytica and also Plasmodium. Entamoeba histolytica, as I told you, they will be having what? A prominent nucleus. Inside the nucleus, there will be a karyosome and rings will be found. And also they do not have a proper shape. They have an irregular structure out there. Whereas in the case of Plasmodium, they have a signet ring that you can clearly see. One stage that is usually being shown is signet ring stage. Okay, so their central vacuole will be there. Surrounding it, there will be a cytoplasm, and towards one side you have the nucleus. Now Trichophyton rubrum, it looks like this. It's what? A fungus. So always remember that. And how do you write the, what do you call, everything about it? So it causes ringworm disease. Why ringworm disease? Because as I told you, on our skin, it makes a round structure like this. So it feels like there's a worm that is there. Okay, so symptoms is what? Appearance of dry scaly lesions on the skin, nails as well as the scalp. The lesions accompanied with intense itching. You will have so much itching and your nails will become discolored, thickened and also brittle. Discolored, thickened and also very brittle. You can break it off very easily. Okay, so this is a thing that you need to learn. And yeah, so if at all you talk about fungi, you know, fungi are made up of small things that is known as hyphae. It is made up of hyphae. So the hyphae which is there, they come together and form mycelium. Ma'am, is it too much information for us now? Yes. So which is why I'm not discussing it too much, but please know that all these things that you are seeing over here is made up of multiple hyphae. And the small portions which are what do you call, coming out like this, you call them as microconidia. They are basically spores. They help in, these spores basically land up somewhere and again form the fungus out there. Okay, so you have microconidia and macroconidia. I'm not discussing much about it, but please know. Okay, so just for your identification, and when I talk about this, you observe this, you notice this, right? That is exactly why I am doing so. So it's not for torturing you, just for you to understand. So Trichophyton rubrum, I hope that is also clear. So with that, we end up, and everyone who is preparing for KCET, my dear children, we have launched the ABHYAS KCET test series. There are 35 KCET mock tests, chapter-wise KCET PYQs, and what are you waiting for? Take it up. It is definitely going to help you out. It helped so many children the previous year. They got the best ranks, okay, 171, 443, 693, out of so many children who gave the examination. 3 lakh children gave the examination. So obviously, it's not a small deal, right? So definitely it is going to help you out. And if at all you're a PU2 champion, obviously if at all you complete a chapter of PU2 and then you go ahead with the KCET PYQ of the same chapter, it is definitely going to help you out. And all of it under real exam-like condition. Okay, and the pricing for this is ₹1499. The link will be given in the description section. Fine. Now, thank you so much and lots of love. If you have any doubts that is coming in your head, please put it down in the comment section and do let me know if at all this video helped you well. Bye-bye. Take care.